if you're looking to simplify your pour over method at home, I really like the Clever Coffee Dripper, something that I used in my shop for 10 years. It makes really good coffee. Let's take a look. So I have a new one here, new in the box. So this is the lid that keeps the heat in if you want it. Some people like it. I don't use that. Shiny and new, so I actually didn't even, when I use these, they didn't even make this color, but it's kind of nice. Got a coaster for it to sit on. I don't use that either. Filters, I have some Filtropa filters that we're gonna use, so don't need those either. That's it. So this is all you really need. You do need filters, but if you don't want to use those ones, I'll show you the ones that I like to use. I like this coffee brewer because it's kind of a hybrid between a French press and a pour over. It's a full immersion brewer, so that means that the water and the ground steep all together. And then it's got this rubber stopper on the bottom. So when you put it on your cup or brewing vessel, then the coffee gets to flow out. So you kind of control the steep time, which the strength of your coffee depends on fineness of the grind and the contact time with the water. I'll show you how I used it every day at my coffee shops. Let me know what you think, if you like that way or some other way better. Let me know in the comments. I like to use these Filtropa coffee filters. The other main manufacturer is Melita. I found they're a little too porous for what I like for this coffee, for the Clever Coffee Dripper. They tend to leave a little muddiness that I just don't love. So I recommend these ones. Fold the bottom, fold the side. So for a ratio, I use 25 grams of coffee to 410 grams of water. So kind of a medium fine grind, 1 click less than 5 on the fellow ode here. That's what we're using for a pour over for a V60 at my shop now. Just use whatever grind setting you're currently using and dial that in. At the shop, we would always rinse our paper filters out, heats up the vessel, rinses out any potential residual paper taste. So add your coffee in. Zero out your scale, start your timer. After you get the bed completely saturated, usually give it a little shake. You can use a stir stick or a spoon or something if you'd like. Then continue filling up to 410 grams of water. And then we're gonna let it steep for 3 minutes and then let it draw down for about a minute. All right, after 3 minutes, we give it a little shake. You can break up the crust with a spoon or stir utensil, but generally I didn't really do that. Didn't seem to make a ton of difference. Set it on your cup or your pitcher or brewing vessel, whatever you're using, then just let it draw out. So you're getting a lot of that depth and body from it steeping like a French press, but then still paper filtering it, giving that kind of clarity and crispness that a lot of coffee people really enjoy, as well as I personally like that. All right, now that's done dripping out, we'll taste it and I'll let you know what I think. Still really crisp and clean, like you get from a pour over, but just a little more depth than sometimes you get from certain pour over methods. I know a lot of my friends really like the V60 pour over method, which I don't mind as well. It just takes a lot more monitoring and you have to kind of keep track of it. You can't make some breakfast while you're making this. With the Clever, what I like is you can just fill it up with water, set a timer, the timer goes off, you put it on your cup, and you're done. And you don't have to have a special kettle. You can use, even a pan, anything that pours okay on your stove, you can use that to fill it with hot water. You're not really gonna mess it up a lot by going, 15 seconds, 30 seconds over, under. It's just a really forgiving device. So that's really nice for brewing at home if you're busy and, have kids or other distractions, trying to let the dogs out. For all you Hario V60 fanatics, I'm gonna do a head-to-head with the Clever Coffee Dripper and the Hario V60 Switch. I know it's not technically the true V60, but it's sort of an immersion brewer as well, a little bit more suited to doing a head-to-head. So I'm going to try that out next. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. the It's Only Coffee Show.